Good morning, everyone. Mr. Sahai, Director General, Power Foundation of India, Mr. Gurdeep Singh, CMD NTPC, Dr. Tripta Thakur, DG NPTI, Mr. Purkyastha, Director, Climate Policy Initiative, esteemed panelists, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here today. I must first thank Mr. Sahai, who's my senior in the service and of course also of the cadre that I belong to, for persuading me and persisting on, in his persistence on making sure that I arrive here. And I compliment that. Thank you so much. But I love this opportunity. We get bogged down in so much of routine, but of course a lot of it is happening, uh, in the sector. But still, you get so much bogged with routine that one does want to come and spend some time listening to others, learning from you all, and of course taking it some pearls of wisdom back to my office and seeing how to drive some of the things that one learns. So it's good to be here today morning. Some thoughts on India's RE sector, some data points we already heard. We, of course, have been making significant strides in the renewable energy sector. Just as a comparison, in March 2014, that's where the real, I would say the push started. In the 14, 15, I think, was a landmark year when the push started. In March 2014, we had the RE capacity of 76 gigawatts in the country, 76.3. And in January this year, we had 182. And that's the kind of scale that we have achieved. Not necessary, the numbers are there, whether we were able to scale it up the way that we could have, as Mr. Purkasta mentioned in the morning, that in distributed, we wanted to reach 40, but have we reached? Somewhere around 10 and a half. So yes, but overall, we did make a dent in the sector. Now, in fact, the RE contributes about 43% of India's total power capacity, and that I think is quite significant. Of course, solar has been the mainstay. Wind was always there. Wind has been there since the 80s in India, but solar is where we really took off. And with technology, the better use of technology, improved efficiency, lower cost of the product, solar PV, as you see how it's come down, it has made a significant dent in the levelized cost of energy that a RE system provides. And I think that has made all the difference. Earlier when solar started, we started with about 16, 17, 18 rupees per kilowatt hour. In fact, some of those plants, which were the first to be set up, are now coming in for, I think they're completing 15 years or more. And now they're coming up for resetting of their tariff. But for 15 years, DISCOMs have been purchasing power at that 17, 18 rupees, the first plants which are set up. But now, in fact, the issue is that we reached a rock bottom tariff of 199, 1 rupee 99 paise. It's like a Bata product, 1 rupee 99 paise, and it's become a landmark. In fact, it's become benchmark for everyone. In fact, all the DISCOMs and everybody who wants to procure, wants that tariff. Now, there were many reasons why that was achieved. In fact, I did try to find out, and I believe a lot of factors led to that particular tariff. But yes, we did achieve a sub 2 rupee tariff. But even now, the tariffs are around, solar tariff is around 250, 260. We are easily getting bids for about 260, 250 in that range. And of course, with the better use of technology, the new technology which is coming in, it is expected that this would also come down further. We, in India, India announced that in COP26, India announced that it would want to achieve 500 gigawatt of renewable energy capacity by 2030, and also achieve 50% of total power capacity from our resources. This, it even now a lot of people question whether is this too good to be true. And let me put it: I'm standing I'm standing before you, and looking at how things are progressing, and looking at how the sector is moving. I think we will achieve it earlier than we think we've targeted, and that would be a significant achievement. Currently, in non-fossil, we have about 189 gigawatt compared to 500. We already have 190 gigawatt or so, which includes nuclear. And about 180 gigawatt is under implementation already at various stages, whether it is under construction, whether it is under tendering, and so on and so forth. So 180. And the balance is something that we're planning, and a lot of initiatives have been taken, and which I'm not going to talk here today because we are trying to focus on distributed renewable energy. RE plants, of course, have significant benefits. We do get, of course, lower tariffs and vast amounts of energy which can travel distances, and we can light up our homes and light up these rooms. But can, as Mr. Sahai gave the example of the two movies, can every citizen of India or every citizen of the world in his or her village or town or in a remote island also, whether everybody can get access to energy at his or her choice of time and preference? I worked in Andaman, and I think Mr. Sahai may have worked too. It's not well known, but Andaman comprises of 572 islands. 572. I don't think a lot of people know that. But only 31 are inhabited. But all these 31 islands, it's not possible to, here in Delhi, it's very easy. You pull a wire, pull a cable, and connect to substation. From any substation, you pull up the wire and connect to any, even a rural area. Connecting island to island is a different ballgame. And it's not been done. And in fact, Andaman is about 1,000 kilometers from top to bottom. It's about 1,000 kilometers from distance, if you count all the north to south. So it's not easy to connect the islands, in the normal way. So you have to plan differently. And it may be, and in fact, the significant population is there are only about 4 or 5 islands, the big islands. The rest, there's very small population. Is it worth connecting the islands, or is it worth going for a distributed renewable energy solution for each island? And that's something that we have to consider. So we must compare the technical aspects, but we also compare the economic aspects when we do that. And therefore, it's very important to look at what is the need, what kind of energy is needed at any place in India, and see how best to arrive that. And I think the point which was raised, that although the solar tariff is 250 or 260 right now, that 260 is what the cost of generation, literally, what is at the X factory, I would say, in production terms. But then you have to transmit it, even though you have waiver on interstate transmission charges, but there are some other charges which get added while distribution, where it lands. But a lot of hidden subsidies are also there, losses are there, transmission losses are there, distribution losses are there. So therefore, when you total all that up, then you find that it's actually not 250. It could be a much larger number, which it is. And therefore, you should compare apple to apple, and therefore distributed the cost of DRE at the Sank Island in Andaman would be different from if suppose we were just taking a cable and connecting it, and then looking at all the costs. And therefore, we must look at these aspects when we consider whether we should go for a DRE or not. Apart from, of course, the other challenges like land, and land is a big issue. In India has always been a big issue. With these large, huge areas needed for 500 gigawatt, people are challenging that whether we will be able to find land. And I mean, you please go around in India, but I can assure you, if you go to the remote areas of India, Rajasthan, even Gujarat, or many other states, there is enough land. Currently there is enough land, and I think we have enough land to not only cater to 500 gigawatt, but also to thousands of gigawatt, which India will need in the future. But for distributed RE, we've taken several measures. One is that we've started under the Energy Conservation Act. We have Ministry of Power has issued a notification. We have in the the renewable purchase obligation, which was already there. RPO has been there for many years. RPO target has been there for many years. Without changing the target of what the RPO has outlined. RPO is what you need to buy, what percentage of energy from renewable sources you need to buy, the DISCOM need to buy to provide to their consumers. We've had this target. Without changing that, we've added a component of distributed renewable energy for the first time. And I think it's a significant, is a significant step that we have undertaken. And in fact, the DRE portion starts at 1.5% from 24-25, and it'll go to 4.5% by 2030. And that's, you should look at the overall numbers of what the total energy would be purchased. This will add to significant capacity from distributed renewable energy. And in fact, now these DISCOMs are scrambling to figure out how they're going to meet some of these targets from the distributed RE. And that's what we wanted to do. We didn't, ideally we would encourage, and we've been encouraging. But sometimes you have to use, specific data points and numbers and, show where everybody must head. And that's what we've done. So this will include, the distributed RE would include not only rooftop, it would also include PM KUSUM. Essentially, it could include, we have said that you can include projects up to 10 megawatt capacity, but we will tweak it as it goes. So we'll see if we find that, we're trying to figure out a way to just go to 10 and 9.5 and 9 and not do the smaller, then we'll have to figure out what to do. But yes, it would include both rooftop and PM KUSUM. That's what we plan, and hope that, and I'm quite confident it will work. And the obligation kicks off on 1st April, the coming 1st April. And it has got significant penalties as well. The penalties could work out to about 3.71 rupees, to be exact, per unit of what you fail to buy. And that's a pretty huge number for any DISCOM. Ask any DISCOM who's dealing with profit and loss, and they will know it's a big number. So on the distributed RE, of course, MNRE, apart from this, which MNRE requested MOP and MOP notified, a lot of other steps have been taken. We've always had an off-grid program. Frankly, I've been a layman in this. I'm a layman in this field. I've learned it only in this assignment. So I always thought, renewable energy means, those street lights and this and that, off-grid solutions, and that's what has been the most popular way the renewable energy has progressed in India. So there, of course, we had significant dent over the years. Many schemes have been running, and in that we have, established over about 84 lakh solar lamps, for the 17 lakh home light solutions, street lights 10 lakh, solar power plants, small solar plants about 217 megawatt peak. So a lot of action has been taken in the previous years. And in fact, there's a lot of demand, especially from remote areas, on continuation of this program. Currently, we do not have, but this is something that we are still looking at whether we can introduce in some way or the other. The second, a recent phenomena, the recent scheme which you must have heard about, the PM JANMAN scheme, which is the Pradhan Mantri Janjati Adivasi Nyay Maha Abhiyan, which is for the particularly vulnerable tribal groups. So, that's a very, it's a scheme encompassing 9 ministries of Government of India. And the mission, the MNRE is part of this, this program as far as renewable energy is concerned. So especially in these remote areas where, the vulnerable tribal groups are actually in the remotest of villages in India. It's not a regular village. It's not even a, I would say, a remote. It's the remotest of villages where we find this, these communities. And there we are part of the scheme where part of the mission with an outlay of about 515 crore to cover 100,000 unelectrified households in these areas, provided we are not able to reach a regular power supply. So we look at whether it can be electrified. If not, we will provide off-grid solutions for these communities. And this is for 18 states and Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So it's something which is going to be very, very useful, I think, for the particularly vulnerable tribal groups. We also had issued a framework for decentralized renewable energy livelihood applications in 2022, which is out there, which included a framework for solar-powered cold storages, refrigerators, bulk milk chillers, looms, something to do with livelihood. How we can, in combination, how do we combine solar or renewable energy with such solutions which provide livelihood? So that we had come out with. PM KUSUM was mentioned, and PM KUSUM is basically solarizing the agriculture sector. A lot of diesel pumps in India still running. A lot of pumps which are electrified, but running the electricity is the normal electricity. And therefore, how to convert these diesel pumps into solar pumps? Can they be replaced? And of course, the other pumps, can they be replaced by solar pumps? And of course, in this, we have, of course, added a feature because we find that the agricultural feeders have largely been separated in India. These are feeders which are exclusively for agriculture sector, so it's easily to solarize them. So we added a component of solar, feeder solarization, which, as was pointed out, is becoming very, very popular. Now, looking at all this, if you convert that into the number of pumps, we do this calculation on the basis of the number of pumps for each thing. We have already sanctioned 49 lakh pumps almost for under the scheme. It's a scheme of 34,000 crore. And I think, yes, we made limited impact till now, but I see a significant improvement, or I would say enhancement of capacities under this program in the next 2 years. And I can assure you that this will happen. It's only a matter of time. And seeing how the how the DISCOMs are now have got traction on the scheme, this is going to be a very, very successful scheme. Rooftop solar, of course, has been a significant program of Government of India. Yes, we did want to add 40 gigawatt capacity by 2022. We did not achieve that. Currently, it's about 10.5, 10.8 gigawatt or so of rooftop capacity in India. We've been able to cover about 700,000, 7 lakh, roughly about 7 lakh households with rooftop solar since to 2019. Not a significant number, looking at the number of households in India. So recently, you must have read about the PM Surya Ghar, Muft Bijli Yojana, which has been announced by the Honorable Prime Minister. There, our target is 1 crore or 10 million households. Now, this is again a number, which, this is what happens when you start and you think we are plateauing and not progressing significantly, and then suddenly we wake up and say, okay, let's now up it in a different way. Let's try to use a different strategy. And this is what we're going to do. We will be providing details shortly of the scheme, but I can assure you, there's a huge traction about this scheme which has been announced recently, and we are seeing significant numbers which are registering on our portal. We're also going to do it very differently. The use of technology which is going to be used in the national portal is going to be very different. How you can evaluate how much of solar you can have on your roof. You can calculate it to the exact kilowatt or even sub kilowatt, and see how where exactly you should be installing it. All that is going to be part of technology used for this program. National Biogas program, yes, one of the ways of using distributed RE is, of course, compressed biogas. So we have a program which was launched in November 2022, and there we are providing CFA. Again, it's a significant program. We have an outlay of about 1,700 crores across two tranches. The first phase is already under progress. Second phase will be launched, and there I think we are seeing a lot of interest from the sector on using the CFA which has been provided. These are some of the initiatives. Yes, we ideally, and that's what the goal should be, having distributed renewable energy solutions at every place where it needs, and comparing it to solar, comparing it to the grid-connected solutions, comparing it with the large power plants, and seeing how we can combine combine the two in a way that we optimize it from the country's point of view. We find what is good for which section or which segment of the economy, which consumers, and then we go ahead and try to use the two in the most optimal way. I look forward to hearing later about the sessions which are going to come up. There's some very interesting sessions I've noted from the agenda, and I look forward to your deliberations and inputs on how to take this forward. Thank you so much, and all the best for the day.